Welcome to Northern Lights. I'm Dwain.
I'm Mark, and today we're going to be talking about our recap for UFC 273. Now, we're just going to do the three main fights that was on the main card. So, starting out first, the fans' main event, Dwain. Khamzat Chimaev versus Gilbert Burns. What did you think of the fight in general?
That's a fight I wish actually was a main event. I feel like 3 rounds was not enough for that. I really wanted it to go 5 rounds. But overall, of course, I don't want to say that Khamzat looked bad because he didn't. He looked fantastic, obviously.
Mhm.
But I think it really showed us that maybe he's not at the level that people thought he was. I don't know if he should have jumped up so quickly. I felt like, he got the win, which was fantastic, but I think he was very, very lucky to get that win. I felt it really could have gone to Gilbert Burns. It felt like he didn't have much of a game plan. It felt like, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm just going to come out swinging and I'm going to knock him out. And that didn't happen.
That was it. I think that was the exact, from his corner as well, wasn't it? Like, he was thinking he was just going to go batter.
His corner was going mental at him.
Smash through everyone like he has done so far. That's a big jump. And look, like I say, I was rooting for Gilbert in this one because I don't like the idea that someone comes in thinking that they're literally just going to destroy every single person that's in front of him. And he said even afterwards, then he's just a tough guy. If that would have gone to Gilbert, I don't think many people would have complained, really.
It could have easily gone to Gilbert.
And that got dropped a couple of times as well. It was very quick.
Yeah.
But, I'm glad that he took a battering in there. And, you're wondering what's next for him. Who could be next? But, I mean, I do enjoy Gilbert Burns, and I'm glad it wasn't a wrestling match because they both know that they're so evenly matched. Well, I'm guessing evenly matched for the wrestling.
Yeah, well, Khamzat said that he was going to wrestle. And he said when he first took him down, he said, yeah, I'm much stronger than him. But he said he went for an armbar. I said, no, I don't like that. I'm not doing it again.
Well, you can understand it, though, can't you? Because, I mean, Burns is just a powerhouse, isn't he?
Yeah, especially when he's so much he's like 4 inches shorter. He used to fight at 155. He's much smaller than Khamzat. So, and that's one thing I felt like Khamzat, like we said, we didn't have that game plan. But he could have, if he'd have kept him at range, used his length, he could have easily beat Burns. But I think Burns was just too technical for him and there was no plan. And I think it's really sort of exposed him a little bit. I wonder, because everyone sort of talks about him fighting Colby or Usman. I think both of them destroy Khamzat. If that's a 5-rounder, no chance. He was looking knackered after 2. I don't think he could do 5 rounds. Not yet.
Yeah, at one stage, maybe at some stage, should I say? Sorry.
Yeah.
Further down the line, he'll be able to get that. But I'm not so sure. I think Usman still is the best fighter in the UFC entire any weight division. Colby, the only thing with that is, Gilbert was doing some serious damage when he was throwing them overhands. He was just throwing like a right, and you just think one of them connects well, and he's going to go down for good.
I think if it's Khamzat versus Colby, it'll probably be more of a wrestling match. I think Colby will take it to the ground as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. Look, I'm a Colby fan, and Khamzat's so strong. He's like a light heavyweight.
I don't mean that he'll be successful. Just that's what he'll attempt to do.
That's Colby. That's Colby's game, isn't it? Well, aside from the Usman fights, I guess. But after that one, then Dwain, we came to Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling for the bantamweight title. Now, a lot of people think it's a controversial decision. I was actually quite happy with it.
Yeah,
and it was split as well. So it's one of them. Either way, whenever it's a split decision, not everyone is going to be 100% happy. But what did you think of the fight? Was you excited for it? Being the second one after the controversial finish of the first. What did you think?
100%. To be honest, I think it's the best thing that could have happened to Sterling is that DQ. Because if it hadn't happened, if he hadn't been kneed in the head, he wouldn't have had this fight now, and we'd have all just forgot about him. It's kind of put him on the map, and I think it's a fight that we've been wanting to watch for a while. Like, was it 13 months, a year, something like that?
Something like that, yeah. Because I mean, obviously, Peter's he's fought Corey Sandhagen in the meantime, and Aljamain just hasn't,
Well, he had a neck surgery, didn't he?
Oh, is that the reason why?
Yeah, so when he went into the Yan fight, the first one, he had a really bad neck, and he's had I don't know what it is, plates in his neck. I don't know. He's basically got a brand new plastic neck. So yeah, so he's got a whole new neck. And to be honest, like I said, I've said to you, didn't I? I said I think Sterling's going to do it. I think people are really underestimating him.
I must admit, we don't like to talk about bets too much because no one cares. But as in, like, I did have a bet on for Sterling to finish, but finish as in submission. That's what I was thinking, and especially was it the second and third round?
Yeah, I really thought that was coming.
But I even messaged you though, didn't I? When he first got him down and there was a long time left in the round, I said, "He ain't gonna get it this one. This will just be a wear and tear." But bantamweight, that's quite an interesting division now as well, especially with Dillashaw back. He's not exactly active as well. I know he's just come off a ban and he had that one fight with Corey. But you'd have thought after them 2 years, you're wanting to pump it.
Well, he got hurt, didn't he? I think he got injured after the Corey fight. That's the problem with these small guys. They always seem to be injured all the time. I don't know what it is. Like look at Dominic Cruz. He's always injured. After he has a fight, he's nearly dead every time. Literally, he has about 10 surgeries. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a bit worrying, isn't it, as well? Because you're like, careers are short, you know.
And they're short enough.
But you never know. Like, as in, it's a good mix up for the bantamweight division because I personally wouldn't like to see a third fight between them just yet.
Not yet, no.
I'd like to see someone else thrown in the mix. I'm not so sure exactly where I'd put Peter Yan, but I think Dillashaw versus Aljamain would be quite good. Dillashaw versus Yan would be quite good as well. To be honest, I hadn't actually thought of that. But bantamweight's one of them. I'm just glad it's got a shake-up.
Yeah,
I enjoy it when they say, if everyone thought that Peter Yan were just going to run through him.
Yeah, and that's what I said in the last fight. I said I never felt that Sterling was in danger once. Like, fine, he got dropped, but Yan got dropped as well. I never felt Sterling in that first fight was ever going to get finished. I never felt he's at risk here.
Well,
and so
I remember we were speaking about it last week, wasn't it? When I said, "Oh, Yan just destroyed him," because you've got a selective memory. I went back and watched the fight, and it was a lot closer than what I thought. It was just towards the end. It seemed as if Peter was outworking him. Yeah, Aljamain got a bit desperate, and he did get desperate in the 5th round in this one as well, didn't he?
Yeah,
he just wanted that takedown
because he knew if he got that takedown, he'd won, and he knew that. And if I've got the takedown, I've won. But Jan's takedown defense was ridiculous in that 5th round. It just nothing was taking him down.
I think he knew as well. You know, definitely. But that's shook up the bantamweight division for the better, I think.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what happens.
The main event, though, what did you think? Alexander Volkanovski, honestly, Dwayne, it's about time he's in the conversation and in the mix to be spoken about as one of the greatest featherweights of all time.
He has to be in that talks now, doesn't he? He's had 3 successful title defenses. He's beat Max Holloway twice. I know they're controversial wins, but I felt like I know we're talking about the fights now, but when he fought Max Holloway, I felt like he made great adjustments in both fights, and that's what got him the win. I think
who else has got that close to Holloway in recent years, where it's been that close of a fight? Who else? No. That surely proves his elite level in itself.
What was the last fight he lost since Volk? It was Conor McGregor, right? He's not lost.
That was a long while ago when Max was so young as well.
2014, I think, 15, something like that.
Yeah,
ages. So I mean, Max is up there as one of the best featherweights as well, isn't he? But we're not here about Max. We're about him and Korean Zombie. And I actually felt really bad for Korean Zombie all the way through this. It was heartbreaking because he's a bit older now. His last title shot was 10 years ago, Mark. That's how long he's been fighting for.
I mean, it does prove, like, I had messaged you as well, and I said the skill difference between these two is just immense. And that was in the first round. Volt's quicker, he's a lot more powerful. He's just got his head on. It almost seems as if, we won't get into it too much, but it seems as if what we were speaking about, the recap of the London card, with almost like the Dan Hooker syndrome, where if he wants the fight to go at his pace, he'll do well. Yeah. But if it's dictated by the opposition who's quicker, then he's in trouble. That's what I felt with the Korean Zombie. I felt sorry for him as just watching,
especially as a fan, right?
A competitor. I'm not a fan of his, really.
No, but as a fan of UFC,
as a human, you see how disappointed he is. But at the end of the day, Volk just absolutely pieced him up.
Yeah, well, Volk said he felt bad, didn't he? He said in that 3rd round, he was like, "Oh, they need to stop this. I'm feeling bad beating him up," And that's the thing. Korean Zombie's obviously a talented fighter. You know, he's the 5th ranked in the world, but there are just these levels out that you just sometimes just can't overcome.
Yeah, there definitely are. It's just the losses that stick out in my mind for Korean Zombie. I mean, I'll probably get called a filthy casual because I'm not an encyclopedia of everyone's win and losses. I know he got beat by Rodriguez, Brian Ortega, now Volk.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, they're elite guys anyway.
Yeah, of course.
So,
And
like we said before, I don't know if he spoke about potentially even retiring, but I suppose that'll probably enter everyone's head when they've had a loss. I'm speaking as if I know what it's bloody like.
Well, the translator didn't. Apparently, the translator said it wrong. So he said, you know, I always come in here and I'm always thinking of retiring now. And after this one, I think I'm probably done. And the translator just ignored that, didn't say it at all. But I'd like to see Korean get, you know, Korean. That's his name now. You know, it's ridiculous. He's the only UFC fighter where people don't call him by his actual name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Korean Zombie, I think I'd like to see him do one more fight. Like, if you're going to retire, go out on a big fight, you know, do something good, you know. Maybe
Yeah.
you could fight Arnold Allen, not as a win, but like, you know, give him the step up, you know, give him the rub, you know.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was kind of hard to watch just because of how brutal it ended up being
How dominant it
towards
was.
the end. Now, I actually thought as well. I thought if Volk can't finish this, there's something wrong with his game. Like if he cannot finish this, because it seemed like every time he was landing one of them big shots, he'd either get dropped or he'd completely
I
wobble.
feel like Volk actually doesn't have a lot of punching power. Like he doesn't. If you notice, most of his finishes aren't by KO; they're either by TKO or decision. Most of his wins. I feel like he probably doesn't have that power. Like don't remember him knocking anyone out. Do you? Like
Chad
to say?
Mendes.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So apart from that, and I just feel like, which is fine. Not everyone needs that power. Like look at Colby; he doesn't have that big, strong knockout power either. You don't need that necessarily as a fighter. But if he did, I think he'd be unstoppable. It's difficult now. What's next for Volkanovski though? Does he fight Max Holloway again? Does he go up to 155? What would you like to see him do?
I personally, I would like to see him go up to 155. I don't, to be honest, against either Gaethje or Oliveira, depending on what happens the next UFC card. I don't know how he'd fare against them,
Yeah,
but there's a few fights in the 155 division which I think that could be quite interesting.
him versus Chandler's the fight to make, isn't it? That'd be
They're both like
amazing. Both
5'5" or something.
short, both stocky, both good
Yeah,
all rounders. That'd be a brilliant fight.
yeah, that would be class. I remember you messaged me that. Bear in mind, it was like 5 in the morning over here. I'm like, yeah, that would be really good actually.
Right, I
Half
think
asleep.
that's I think that's all we've got time for. Thanks everyone for watching. If you can like, comment, and subscribe, it really helps us out.